look, we just got to take care of our own business. We just got to handle our own business. We can't rely on Man City dropping points. We rely on teams beating Man City. Nah, you know what's going to work? Getting these W's. Yeah, getting these W's. That's what's going to work. The saying goes, if you want something done properly, you got to do it yourself. So we got to go to Brentford and get these 3 points and put the pressure back on Man City. Hi there guys, it's your boy Dashiki Dash and welcome to a Dash of the Gunners. Oh man, you already know. This is where I talk about all things Arsenal related, hot topics and trending stories. And what I've got for you today is Brentford versus Arsenal. This is a big game, an important game. Just like the games that are going to be from now until the end of the season, if we want to be successful, if we want to win something. But this is a big, massive 3 points that we need, considering the fact that Man City beat Fulham. Absolutely, done with them. Beating them 3-0. So they're currently 3 points behind us. So it's weird, man, because the point gap sometimes is, we're going to be 9 points clear. It's gone down to 3. It's just going up and down, man. The gap's widening, it's closing in. But we need these 3 points just to open up this gap again to get back to 6 points. Aston Villa also won, so they're piling on a point. So the pressure is mounting, but we got to show that we can push back as well. Now, you do something, we do something. We just got to handle our own business, take care of our own business. We don't need to rely on, or we can't rely on other teams because, man, certain teams just roll over, man. Certain times I think to myself, like the energy that certain teams give Arsenal, yeah? There's certain energy that the teams give Arsenal. When you're seeing them play like the likes of Man City or Liverpool, you're like, man, I'm not hearing the fans. You know what I mean? I'm not seeing the energy. But anyway, I ain't complaining. Like I said, we just got to take care of our own business. Anyway, yeah, this is going to be the preview video of the match. I'm also going to be talking about the sad news. We just got the blow of a news in regards to Kai Havertz and his injury. That's rocked the fan base right now. We've all reacted differently, but maybe just try to put things into perspective because it doesn't seem like it's that bad in regards to the injury and the amount of games that he's going to be missing. So, hoping for a speedy recovery in regards to Kai Havertz. So I'm going to be going through that. And also, regarding injuries, on the injury front, we've got the likes of Saka, Odegaard, and Leandro Trossard, which we've got some slight positive news. I'm not too sure. I can't really confirm in regards to what we've been hearing. But it sounds quite positive. But you know how Arteta loves to keep his cards close to his chest. So, yeah, I'll be going through in regards to that. And just everything else, just my overall feeling in regards to the game in itself. But before I get into the game, let me just ask this question, just out of the gate. How are my fellow Gunners feeling? Yeah, how are you lot feeling today? Hope you're blessed. Hope you're well. And also, just remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button, comment, share it, do all that jazz to help support the channel. And also, just as important, press the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my shows. Because if you don't miss out on my shows, then you can like, comment, and subscribe. You know how it works. Anyway, let me jump straight into the video. Brentford versus Arsenal. Arsenal going to the G-Tech. Like I said, this is a big, massive game, man. We need these 3 points to widen up that gap, to keep Man City at bay. But this is going to be no easy feat. It's not going to be easy. This is going to be a tough game. I repeat, it's going to be a tough game. Brentford are doing well. Post Thomas Frank, unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, he got sacked by Spurs, but obviously leaving Brentford, everybody would have thought, like, you know what, Brentford are pretty much done for because not only did they lose their manager, they lost players like Mbeumo, Johan Wissa, Mark Flecken, who else? Christian Norgard, who we took off. That was their captain. So they've lost their manager, they've lost their captain, they've lost their top, forwards and Mbeumo and Wissa. Any team that would have just been gutted out like that, man, you're like, psh, you lot are going down, man. You lot are going down. But Chief Andrews, who replaced Thomas Frank, has come in and he's just, he's hit the ground running. They're currently seventh place. I think they're second in regards to the inform table, second behind Arsenal. So this is going to be a tough game. And remember what I just said earlier in regards to teams just showing that energy. You know what I mean? Like I've seen it. I've seen it before at Brentford. I know that the first game that we played Brentford at their ground when they came up, I think it was a Friday night. So that was the first game of the season, televised. We lost that game. And then I think every game since then, we've pretty much had a good record against them at Brentford. I think we've won 4 times in a row. But we all know, like I said, it's going to be difficult. And we all know when you're trying to reach that magic number 5, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. But listen, the boys just need to go and do a professional job. That's been a very, very good thing in regards to the Arsenal players this season. The mindset has been really good in terms of just knowing what to do. Previous seasons, like when we do get into these kind of situations, we either buckle, stumble. But this season, we've done quite well. I'm not saying that it's been perfect in regards to how we've reacted when like Man City wins or they lose. Our reactions post their games, obviously playing second, but we've done quite well this season, and long may it continue. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough game. Players that I'm gonna be, weary of and thinking to myself, oh man, is that Igor, man? He has been banging in the goals. He's a real goal scorer. And Brentford, man, how do they do this, man? They always get somebody that can just hit the ground running when it comes to goals. I know like Igor wasn't so great last season. I know he had a knee injury and stuff like that, but coming off the back of his knee injury this season, he's been doing fantastic, man, scoring a goal. So he's going to be their talisman, the person that they're going to be looking to get the ball to very, very quickly. Brentford are a very, very good counter-attacking side, but I'm not sure on how they're going to apply themselves in this game. Most teams, sit back or they're quite cautious. If they play, then they give us every opportunity to be able to, pick them out. Our game against Sunderland, that was a good game because Sunderland didn't sit back. They came away from home and they gave it a go. So it's going to be interesting to see how Brentford apply themselves at home. You know what I mean? And usually we've been doing quite well at home. Our record, I think, last season was much better. But in terms of our football and how we're playing, I find I enjoy our away performances rather than our home performances. I don't know if it's just the overriding, anxiousness of it all and, the feeling from the crowd and the players kind of freeze up a little bit, takes the players quite long to warm up at home. But away from home, we've had better performances. And look, there is nothing else that I can really say in regards to the importance of this game. Psychologically, it's very, very important. You got to remember, man, off the back of Man City beating Liverpool, it wasn't just the victory in itself, but it was like the message that they sent out. They're still in this title race. A lot of people felt like the title race was going to be over in February because we go 9 points clear. As you just see it now, like 9 points is still not that much of a gap, considering how many games we've got left. Like 13 games left or so. So there's still a long way to go. But yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. In terms of Arsenal, where we're at right now, we're doing quite well, man. Good victory against Sunderland at home. We got a lick back, as I said in the last video, beating them 3-0. Now it's about just pushing forward and now going to our next game. One game at a time. I know it's cliche. I get it. But we got to go to the G-Tech and do what we need to do. We cannot be G-checked at the G-Tech. Yeah? No, we can't, man. We got to make sure that we get our points, 3 points in the bag, and then try and push on from that. But it's going to be a hard game. And just in regards to the injury front, we was rocked yesterday by the news of Kai Havertz injured again. And I reacted to it like, oh, come on, man. Why? Like, I know we've got this squad that everybody's saying strength and depth. Like, I appreciate it. And it's probably the reason why we're in the position we're in right now. It is because of the strength and depth. It is because when players get injured, the players that step in, the drop off is not that big. We've been able to cope well with the injuries. But I think at this point in time in the season right now, where we're going into the business end of the season, I just would have thought by now the players would have been, at least fit. The fitness levels will be stronger right now. We're going into this business end, but I think with injuries, if it's a muscular injury, as they're reporting, especially off the back of a lengthy layoff like Havertz had, you're bound to pick up their muscular injuries. We're hearing that he's going to be missing at least two Premier League games, and anything in between that. So Brentford, who have we got in? Is it Wigan? Wigan, right, in the FA Cup, and then we've got Tottenham. So I think all in all, it would be three games. And look, maybe he picked up a muscular injury, which isn't severe, but they felt, look, we'll rest you. We should be able to cope without you. Although his comeback has been very, very good, the link up play with Gyökeres, what he's been able to offer in that kind of 10 role, that kind of Odegaard role, he's, adapted and adopted his own kind of way of playing that role, good link up with the rest of the team. So it's something that we know, we've seen it live and in person, and we just gotta, fingers crossed, it's a speedy recovery for him, and then he can come back and then just hit the ground running again, and hopefully with a bit of more strengthening conditioning, he's going to be able to put the injury woes behind him. But yeah, man, it's a big blow. Don't get it twisted. It's a big blow because he is a big player for us. He offers a different way of obviously approaching the attack. But unfortunately, these are the injuries that we are enduring right now. More injuries. And then in regards to the injury front, the likes of Saka, supposedly is a doubt, and Odegaard. That was kind of the first reportings this morning. And then later on in the day, I'm seeing that the likes of Saka, Odegaard, and Trossard, who was more kind of likely to play. So I'm not sure what about him, but Saka and Odegaard are the ones they were saying it was doubtful. But they've travelled with the club. They've travelled with the team. So yeah, maybe they might be available in some capacity. So fingers crossed that they are available. They're there on the bench, or they're starting, or Arteta's up to his old tricks in regards to just saying, "Yeah, look, man, I don't know. They're a doubt. We're gonna speak to the medical team. We don't know." And then when you see the team sheet, yeah, they're there. So man, if they do make it, then fantastic. It's going to be a boost that we need, a much needed boost in regards to the injury front, because I'm just tired, man. I'm so tired. I'm tired of this, man. When do we get a situation where I think we only had it? We didn't even make it to one game, or did we? Like the Leeds game. I think going into the Leeds game, we was being told that this is the first time that we've had a injury-free squad team available. And then before the game, during the warm up, Saka pulls up with a hip injury. So I don't know. We're gonna wait and see to see what happens there when the team sheet comes out. Then hopefully, fingers crossed, whether they're starting or on the bench, we'll just like to see them. They're available. Speaking of the team, let me just get into my starting 11. Yeah, this is the starting 11 that I want to see from the available players. Obviously considering the injuries and everything like that, this is the team that I want to see. So I want to start with David Raya in goal, standard. Timber right back, Saliba centre back, along with Gabriel. Left back, I'm gonna go with um, do you know what? I'm gonna stick with Calafiori. I know that he was very, very shaky in regards to the game against Sunderland, but that was his first game back after his injury. So surely by now, with a bit more training session, and also just thinking back in that match, he can get his groove back. So Calafiori left back, and Nketiah unlucky in terms of my pick not to make it because he's been playing very very well. But I'm gonna pick Calafiori left back. Then my three in midfield from the players that I feel that are gonna be available. That's gonna be Zubimendi, Declan Rice. Come on, man, Rice, baby, and Eze. Come on, my boy. This is your time right now. This is your time. We need to see the Eze in the North London derby. We need to see that Eze. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to grab that position with both hands. So in the middle, Norgard. Sorry, not Norgard. Declan Rice, Zubimendi, and Eze. My front three out there on the left, obviously considering the fact that Trossard could be injured. So we're going to start off with Martinelli out there on the left. On the right, picking Noni Madueke out there, deputizing once again for Saka. The likelihood Saka will probably be on the bench just to ease him in if he's able to even, be on the bench. And then up front, Gyökeres, man. No Havertz available for this game, so gonna stick with Gyökeres. And then the likely changes in the game will be the likes of Jesus. And then, if Odegaard is on the bench, if Saka's on the bench, then those are the changes that we can make. Obviously, Christian Norgard also on the bench. Not sure if he will make an appearance. But yeah, old captain of theirs, Brentford's former captain, making his comeback. So should be good for him to have that moment, maybe even just to say, another goodbye to the fans. Brentford fans are really good fans as well, man. They ride for their players. If you do them right, they'll do you right. You know what I mean? But I can't say that about Wisa because the Brentford fans hate Wisa in regards to how he left for Newcastle. But look, man, I can't say much more about the game in itself. The importance, it's going to be a late kickoff, I think around 8 o'clock. And I feel like, man, everybody else has played. Now all eyes on us. So that's another part of the the psychological factor in regards to that pressure. Everybody is going to be looking at us and seeing what we're going to do. And we just got to handle our business. You know what I mean? Like I said, we cannot be G checked at the G Tech. Yeah, can't be. Yeah, so we got to go out there, get our 3 points, put them in the bag, and then move on to the next game. But let me know how you're feeling, man. Like I said, man, how you lot feeling out there, my fellow Gunners? Do you think we're gonna win, lose, or draw? Give me your predictions. Like I like to see you lot's predictions. I don't do all of that because I always feel like I'm gonna jinx it or I get it wrong, and I just want to win. I just want the 3 points. Yeah. Is a draw? Would a draw be that bad? Would a draw be that bad? Currently, seeing that Brentford are seventh and they're doing very well. But that's not what I'm thinking about. I'm just putting that out to you guys to see what you think, to see what you lot think. But yeah, let me know, man, how you're feeling about things. So yeah, like I said, I need that 3 points, man, for us to win and then move on and push on, widen that gap for City are right behind us, man. 3 points behind us. If we win, we'll be 6 points. That cushion that we need. But yeah, I'm anxious, I'm nervous, but look, at the end of the day, we've got to take care of business. That's it. If we want this league, if we want to be successful, game by game, I know it's a cliche, one game at a time, but game by game, we've got to be knocking them off with W's. Yeah, that's what we need to do. But let me know how you're feeling anyway. Put your comments down below and let me know, man. Until the next time here on A Dash of the Gunners. Peace.